friends, it's Laura. I'm Mostly Crafty here on YouTube and Instagram. Today is Sunday, June 14th. It is Flosstube 13, and I have a couple um, finishes and projects to show you. I don't have a ton of time, so I'll try to keep this pretty quick and moving and hopefully not chat too long. So let's get started. The first thing that I have to show you is a fully finish, and it is this cute little bag tag. I showed this in my last floss tube, but I hadn't fully finished it yet. So this is a pattern from Etsy from an Aperol Spritz, which is my drink of choice. And I'll put the name of the pattern down below. It's a generic pattern, and I stitched it in roughly the called for colors, and then I ended up kind of outlining it in this pink on this plastic perforated plastic, sort of like plastic canvas that I had thrifted somewhere. And then I backed it with just some scrap fabric from that D-stash that I went to down in the like design district of Seattle from one of those architectural kind of like reuse events. And then I used Helen D's floss tutorial to make the cording myself using my drill because I don't have one of those handy dandy doodads. And yeah, this cute little bag tag. So some notes about how I made this. It is that perforated plastic with just like DMC floss. And then I used that kind of like that scrap fabric. It was giving chicken nugget. It's giving like chicken tendy, like spicy hot chicken tendy. Because I kind of like outlined it very specifically along the border, I would round it out next time and just kind of make it more generic. I made way too much cording. I measured wrong, but that's okay. I have some for the future. Yeah, I would absolutely make this again. The whole process took about 3 hours to stitch it, maybe-ish. I was watching TV. And then troubleshooting kind of like how to glue it. I just used Aleene's glue to sandwich the two together, and then Aleene's glue underneath the cording. And I keep it in my backpack. So that is adorable. The next finish that I have is, and I don't have any paper, so we'll just have to get creative here. Do I have any paper here? No, that's okay. This is Happy Haunted Home by Flossie Fox Shop. This is a Halloween pattern. This is my first June finish. And I started it in mid-May, and I almost had it done by the end of May. And I would be lying if I didn't think, what if I just didn't finish it on May 31st and just let it ride? And I kind of did. I had some other stuff going on, so it's not like I didn't finish it just so I could have a finish in June, which would make me have a finish every month this year so far. But it was close. I was thinking about it. So this is, I can never remember if it's 16 or 18 count fiddler's cloth. Probably 18 count. I dyed it myself green. Stitched it in, there's some fuzz on it. Stitched it in roughly the called for DMC, except I changed the like white, I don't know if it was a ghost dog or white and gray, to look a little bit more like ruby. And then I think I went up or down in the purples because I had those in stash. So it's all from stash, and it's mostly from my mom's old floss for the most part. I was running so short on the pink, this pink of the cheeks, that I have like literally like one strand, like one single of a 6-strand floss, one left from my mom's old stash. So I don't know how I'm going to finish it yet. It is almost but not quite square. So I might do some sort of flat fold. I'll probably wait till closer to Halloween to finish that. But it's super cute. The ghosts are ghosting a little bit. They do that in real life. The original is called for on, I think, just plain fiddler's cloth or something similar. But I had this green cut from a separate project, so I just used that. It's so cute. Look at that little cat. So I love that. This is, I think, just under 4,000 stitches. Yeah, 3,600 stitches. 3,659. So pretty quick finish. All right. Don't mind that. Don't mind that at all. I have one start since the last time I filmed about 3 weeks ago, and it is for the Strawberry Moon Sal. The Strawberry Moon Sal is hosted by Marjorie Maid. And it is because the last moon in June is called the strawberry moon. Sorry, the only moon in June is the strawberry moon. Every moon of every month has some sort of name usually, and it happens to be the very end of June this year. So she started a stitch along a couple of years ago where you just stitch a strawberry pattern. And in my last video, I linked a bunch of free ones that were out there. So I started this one. This is called Strawberry Dreams by Carriage House Samplings. This is Jandy Dean and I, Jandy Sews, and I started this together for the Strawberry Moon Sal. And please ignore that this is absolutely not ironed at all. It looks terrible, but that's okay. So this is on a 32 count. He stitched me. It's called A Little Classy. And I'm stitching it with a random assortment of flosses. The original is obviously an NPI silk. It's a Carriage House Samplings pattern. And I think it was Becca from Becca is Stitching, who mentioned in one of her videos a few weeks ago, she understands now why Liz Matthews says a thoughtful DMC conversion, because whatever pattern she is stitching from Carriage House or Kathy Barrick or whatever, the DMC conversion is like not it. So she said, I understand why. And I kind of understand why too. But I'm doing mine in DMC from stash, with the exception of this red is a Weeks Garnet that I thrifted when I was up in Victoria, and I got like 3 or 4 skeins. So I'm using that. The pink is called for, I think the greens are called for Ecru. And then what I'm going to change is this yellow has this lightest green as the seeds. I did swap this yellow out for something a little warmer because the other one was just not tonal enough. And I stitched the numbers to test it. I stitched this yellow, which is, don't know, I already put that one away. Let me tell you. I stitched the numbers in the house, different from this one. And the numbers in the house, when I did a black and white photo, was really different, did not work at all. So I ripped that out and started over. So the yellow that is called for is 3852, and I'm using 3822 because that's what I had in stash. One thing, this red has this terracotta inside, which is 356, which is the called for. I think it looks better with kind of the more like contrasty colors. So I might stitch this in either the yellow or the ecru as well, TBD, but I figure I'll stitch one and then carry on. This also has a full border. I don't know if your girl's gonna stitch that because the border's like 1,500 stitches. The whole thing's only like 4,000 stitches. And I don't know if I can be bothered to stitch 1,500 stitches of a border. TBD. So that's my one start for Strawberry Moon. Speaking of moons, I have another pattern that I do for my full moon stitch, and it is Witch's Road by JEDxStitch. I'll get it close. I had messed up in this yellow early on in the year, so I finally stitched it and took it back up. I stitched a bunch over here, took this down, and this orange. I might run out of this orange because I ended up using that, I think it's 920 in my Happy Haunted Home as well. I didn't realize it, so I might run out, so TBD on that. This is by JEDxStitch. I don't know if I mentioned that. And it is an 18 count linen that I dyed. It's a thrifted linen. I dyed it myself. I'm not getting quite the contrast on the blue of her colors, and like she uses a lot of fancy flosses in hers. I'm not loving this navy color comparatively, but I think there's a lot more darker stuff down here, so I don't know if I'm gonna rip it out or wait. We will see in 2 weeks. Okay, next up, got floss everywhere. And it is real warm in here. I don't have air conditioning. Okay, next up is, sorry for the crinkles, Book Goddess by Tiny Modernist. I really need to iron this. Oh, Laura, that's so crazy. I thought you were missing the floss. I was missing the floss. I found it as I was like editing my last floss tube. And I had gone on this whole diatribe about where it could be. And then my cleaning gal found it. So I have it again. It is back, which I am very happy about. I didn't do a ton. I brought some of the, gee, Christmas, there's floss everywhere. I brought the blue down a little bit and then finished some of the flowers and fixed a couple of bits in here that I needed to do. So not a ton, but brought the blue down a little bit. So she's doing pretty good. I don't have my percentages written down on this, but I am, oh my God, so much floss. Just under 16% on this. Very glad I found my fancy floss, because I would have been mad if I had to rip them all out and start over. All right. For my focus project this month, I've really been working on the Strawberry Dreams for the Strawberry Moon Sal. But it's almost summer, and until about, let's see, I had the heat on until Tuesday of last week, and was wearing my puffer coat, if that tells you how cold it's been. But it is real warm right now. My thermostat says 76 degrees. It's probably a lot warmer than that. I am sweating and it's super sunny. So I've been trying to work on some summer projects. And there's nothing more summery than Blueberry J by JEDxStitch. This was my Sunday stitch along in the winter. And I haven't picked it up quite as much in the spring, but it's the project I'm pretty much the furthest along on. I'm at 51, almost 52%. There we go. I stitched that green bow border up and around, started the plaid down on the bottom. What I am missing is one color. I thought I was missing like 883 or 813. I have like 2 skeins of it. I found them. So then I thought I was missing like a 780 color or something. Nope, that's not even in this pattern. I'm missing a color somewhere in here that I keep forgetting about and will never remember. I don't have in stash, so TBD when I remember that color. This is on a 32 count Dolomite by Fiber on a Whim. And I'm hoping to keep this going into summer, along with Summer Quaker by Leela Studio. Once summer officially hits next week, I'm gonna like alternate these two every day until I leave for vacation. All right, another project that I got back out, another JEDxStitch project, and this is crappily folded. Hold on. With floss just everywhere. Well, too bad. This is I Like Cross Stitch by JEDxStitch. This is part of kind of a start along with Kansas City Girl in Colorado World that she did January for her hashtag Not a Fascist birthday stitch along. So I'm super far behind on this. I think I have 6% now, but I did all of the V's here and here, and then started this big orange flower right here. So not a ton of work, but on my other JEDxStitch project, I can't find my fancy flosses for this one now. So Blueberry J, I don't know where the Threadworks color is. I don't know. It's somewhere. Could not have gone far. But I need to find that. So I picked this up instead and got, 100 or 200 stitches on it while watching the Taskmaster finale. So that was pretty fun. All right. And the last project that I worked on is not a JEDxStitch project, although pause. I think I have 5 JEDxStitches on the go. I think at Spring Mingle, people were talking about like who you have the most projects of. And I was like, oh, I have like 3 or 4 JEDx. I have 5. I have Blueberry J. I have Witch's Road. I have I Like Cross Stitch. I have Pink Wren. And I have her Anemone from the Under the Sea, Beneath the Waves, Cross Stitch the Rainbow X-Stitch the Rainbow, or X-Stitch the Rainbow collection that was at Nashville. So I have 5. Maybe that's too many. That's a full third of my whips. And she just released 3 more, and we'll have an exclusive pattern at Midsummer Stitch. Jessica, I need you to go on vacation. I don't have time. And I have not been stitching as much in the past 2 weeks because I bought a Switch 2, and I've been playing the Blueprints, which Jessica at JEDxStitch recommended. And that has taken up a surprising amount of time. I understand why people game. Because, wow, your brain just like goes into a different dimension, and suddenly 3 hours have passed. And that is time I could be stitching. Bye. So this weekend I've tried to purposefully stitch a little bit more. And for example, I finally worked on a sampler for Grace here. I know not working. This is a stitch along. Well, it's a pattern by Nuri at JEDxStitch that came out at Nashville Needlework Market. And it is a sampler for Grace. Annie XO Needle and the Hay XO is leading the stitch along. I am way behind, but you can see that I got this, like from here on over, stitched. It looks like a thread, but it's not. And then some of this stitched yesterday and today. So it's looking pretty good. I'm at, where's this one on here? 6.5%. So, I mean, it has 16,000 stitches. I'm at just over 1,000 stitches. That's not bad. That's not bad. I'm scared to start the 1/1 stitching. So I think what I'm going to do is bring the border over as far as I can for the Q-snap, and then start the stitching. I'm afraid to start that like wibbly wave here in case I did some stitching wrong, and I'll realize it when I do the 1/1. This fabric is a 36 count Zweigart linen. The fabric itself is it's like the lightest pre-printed Zweigart fabric that they make. And then I dunked it in taupe for like 3 minutes to give this kind of like parchment color. Because I thought that the Affogato, which was the call for, was way too dark for me, and I was not liking it. So I restarted on that in late April or early May, and I'm liking it a lot more. So that's my stitching right now. Like I said, not a ton of projects. I think I'll do a whip parade in 2 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks. I leave for vacation in early July, and I'll be gone for 2.5 weeks, and I won't film then. So I'll either film a regular Flosstube in 2 weeks and pre-film a whip parade and launch that in early July, or vice versa. I'm not sure yet. I don't have a ton of whips, but that's kind of the thing to do, right? So right now I've got 16, 19 on my calendar or in my markup RXP, although one of them was like, I started stitching on perforated canvas also to make a bag tag, and it's just not gonna work. There's like way too many half stitches. And I'm like, okay, plastic canvas is not gonna work for that. So TBD on that. So that's stitching. In terms of thrifting, so last week I was coming home from one of my walks, and some of my neighbors down the street had a garage sale, and the pup and I kind of walked up, and I was like, oh, like, hi, nice to meet you guys, you know, da da da. And then I saw some DMC in a bin, and I'm like, oh, there's some DMC here. I think I'll come back. I'll put the dog in the house and come back. So turns out, and all this DMC, the gal, my neighbor's friend, is Haley Marie. She's Haley Marie Vintage on Instagram. She has a YouTube where she does vintage sewing patterns in either contemporary or thrifted fabrics. They's lovely. But one thing she mentioned is that she's focusing more on that instead of kind of like the hand sewing and hand embroidering project. So she was kind of clearing out all of her clutter for that. And I said, I will take all of it. Like, give it all to me. And I lost out on just a couple of things because we were chatting. We chatted for like an hour. Hello. And so a couple people bought other things and they kept trying to scope my pile. And I was like, no, that is my pile. But I got some, you probably can't see them, some scissors, some shears behind me because Haley mentioned she upgraded to a very nice pair of shears. I assume they're from Sheffield, but some very nice shears. So I got like $3, something like that. Some other pairs. I got all of that DMC. And there's a couple colors, like this blue, where there's a bunch of skeins. So I might be able to do something cool with it. I should mention that a lot of Haley's embroidery cross-stitch collection came from Seattle Recreative, which is our reuse store. Haley's been a volunteer there for over a decade and had just a ton of stuff from them. And like she sorts buttons for part of her volunteering now, which sounds so mindless, amazing. Like I want that job. So a lot of her collection came from this woman named Barbara W., who when she passed, her estate donated her collection to Recreative. And so I have a lot of her stuff now, which I thought was lovely. And a couple of things. Barbara was apparently into Brazilian embroidery, which is kind of a 3D embroidery, and it uses these fancy rayon flosses from Edmar, which is in Idaho now. And the twist is backwards to a DMC. So these are a Z twist rather than an S twist. So when you sew with them, it produces like a different curl of the threads and a more like 3D effect. So I have a book. I have another like whole kit set up from a class that Barbara had. And then I also got a bunch of hoops, which included this little Duchess hoop, this very cool crown hoop, which I've never seen this kind. It's pretty small. It's about 3 inches, I think, maybe 4, pardon me. And then a bunch of metal ones, which I already put somewhere. I don't know where I put them. So a bunch of hoops, probably from Barbara. Thank you, Barbara. So now I have plenty of different hoops to use. And then this Mermaid Song Stitcher's Pocket little pouch and fob. Used to be a kit, I think. Now it's just the pattern from the Victoria sampler. But I thought that was really cute as well. That's also from Recreative. So someday I'll make that. And then the piece de resistance is this DMC color book. What? So excited. These are sold out on the DMC website. So even if I wanted to get one, I would not be able to. It has all of the new colors. Get it open. It doesn't have all of the neons and whatnot. Has the metallics, a lot of the variegated, and then has a sample of what each of those different types of floss, pearl, cotton, embroidery thread, etc. feels like. And even the metallics. So this was absolutely worth $1 million because you can't get one on DMC's website right now. So even if it is like a little bit out of date, don't care. We'll 1000% use this. I already used it, honestly. And I think that's about it from my haul. I got some other stuff from her. I've already like packed it away and that sort of thing. I went to our Recreative one day. Didn't buy anything. I would like a prize for that. But I've been pretty good about not buying extra stuff because I'm out of space. Don't look. Definitely full of stuff. In terms of plans, I'm going to pick up Lilo Studio Summer Quaker and my JEDxStitch Blueberry J for summer, starting the 21st, and try to really focus on those two
and get those two wrapped up. I'll also finish my strawberry, everything except the border, at least probably this week. There's really not that much. And then I'll decide if I want to deal with the border or not. I'm not sure I do. We'll see. The border is basically like a white scallop border with that red Weeks around the outside. I don't know if I can be bothered. I guess it depends on how I want to finish it. And I don't know. I don't know how I want to finish it. Other plans, I don't really know what other plans that I will have going on in July. I'm taking Coneflower Chorus with me to finish or to work on while I'm in Italy. And then I'll probably take like a bead kit of some sort to also work on. I did the math, and I mean, my max stitchy day is roughly like 3,000 stitches. 3,000. Oh my God. Like, I wish. Who am I? Jandy? No. My stitchy day is roughly 300 stitches on a like good day when I'm doing other stuff. And so over the course of 2 weeks, that's like 4,200 stitches. Don't correct me if the math is wrong. I think math is right. Coneflower Chorus is 6,000, so I have like room to grow on that. And we'll be busy. Like, we'll be doing tours and wine tasting and sitting by the pool and hiking. So I don't know that I'll have that much time. Although there definitely will be downtime in the evenings. So we'll see. So I'll bring a project or two for that. I haven't decided if I'm going to start something for the 250th yet. Not feeling particularly political, obviously, but it'd be nice to start something small. I don't know, TBD. Something that's not by a fascist. I don't know. Drop your comments down below. And that's about it, all my plans right now. Midsummer Stitch is coming up. Tickets went on sale Friday for Midsummer Stitch, which I think is July 18th and 19th, hosted by Lindy Stitches. My friend Jandy is going to be teaching a class on a notebook, a stitched notebook cover. The class tickets are only $10. Even if you don't get the pre-stitching done, you can still take her class, learn how to put the cover together, and you have access to the recording for 30 days. A bunch of Flosstubers are going to do a Flosstube live, including like Cam the Stitcher and Bridget the Museum Stitcher. Andrew the Runner Stitcher is going to do one. Marissa is going to do one too. So I'm looking forward to all of that and the exclusive JEDx pattern. However, that is the very end of my trip. And I will be in Rome waiting to fly home. And I don't know how much time I'll have because of the time difference. And it's only Saturday and Sunday. It's not a Friday, Saturday, Sunday like Spring Mingle was. I don't know how much time I'll have. I think I'll probably be able to join like early in the morning, before like breakfast. My sister leaves to the airport really early, and then maybe once I'm at the airport. We'll see. And then I fly home and I land. So maybe that evening I can get back online. But I definitely want to get online long enough to make any exclusive pattern purchases, especially one by Jessica, because obviously I'm her #1 fan. So in terms of what I've been like listening, watching, reading, I have been watching a lot of Taskmaster, finished the latest series, and then kind of catching up on old series at the same time. Series 9, I think. Watching a lot of Real Housewives of Rhode Island, getting caught up on that. A lot of Love Island USA. Don't know if I'll keep watching because one of my favorites got cut, and I was watching it last week while I was getting my hair done. My hairdresser has like a private studio, and so I put it on while she was bleaching and redoing my pink. She had never seen it ever, and she was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing." And I was like, "I know, buckle up. So that was really fun to kind of watch that. But then I paused and I was going to get caught up like tonight and tomorrow night from the past couple days. And I don't know. It's like such a time commitment. We'll see. Maybe I'll dip in, dip out, because I kind of know what happened this week. And then I just started listening to a book called Easy Money by Ben McKenzie from the OC on the cryptocurrency scams. It's a couple years old, but I love to listen to audiobooks, nonfiction audiobooks while I'm stitching. And I finished Neptune's Fortune last week, which was about shipwrecks. I'm always reading a book about a shipwreck. It's like my favorite topic. I don't know why. Weird. I don't even like boats. Maybe I should do a shipwreck pattern. There's a lot of good ones. Ink Circles has a good Kraken one where the Kraken has like broken a ship in half. TBD. We'll keep that in mind. But that's what I've been listening to. So I think that's about it. And I'm right on time because I have to leave at 5. So thanks for tuning in. Let me know what you're stitching, what your plans, if you're going to do some Midsummer stitch. If you have anything else I should be watching, let me know down below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.